You know, navigating the world of plant products these days can feel like you're learning a whole new language. We hear terms like biostimulants and beneficial substances thrown around constantly. But what do they actually mean from a regulatory point of view? Well, that's exactly what we're going to clear up today. So, to help get everyone speaking the same language, the Association of American Plant Food Control Officials, that's AAPFCO, actually teamed up with Brand Maven. What they did was create a brand new tool, really designed from the ground up to create some common ground for both manufacturers and regulators. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with some key definitions, then zoom in on plant biostimulants. After that, we'll introduce this new database, and then get into a really practical guide on how to actually use it. And, of course, we'll finish with the single most important takeaway. All right, let's start at square one. Before we can even talk about the database itself, we have to get the language right. So let's look at the two key terms that are really the foundation for everything else. First up is the really big one, the foundational umbrella category that pretty much everything else fits under, and that is the beneficial substance. Just look at how broad this definition is. It was officially recognized back in February 2024, and it basically includes anything, as long as it's not a nutrient or a pesticide, that you can prove with science is good for plants or soil. This means the door is wide open for all kinds of microorganisms to be considered beneficial as long as you have the data to back it up. Okay, so we've got that big, wide umbrella. Now let's narrow our focus a bit to a very specific and very important piece of it. So, a plant biostimulant, it doesn't just act like plant food. Think of it more like a coach. It's something that helps the plant get better at using the nutrients that are already there, helping it tolerate stress, and just improving its overall game. And this is the perfect way to understand the relationship. Imagine a big circle. That's beneficial substances. Now, picture a smaller circle completely inside that big one. That smaller circle is plant biostimulants. See how that works? Every biostimulant is, by default, a beneficial substance. But, and this is key, not everything in that big circle qualifies as a biostimulant. So with those definitions down, let's get to the main event and see exactly where this new database fits into the picture. Now, here's the crucial point. This database is not a list of every single thing that's good for plants. No, it's a very specific classification tool. Its whole job is to help you figure out which microorganisms have the right evidence and support to be officially called a plant biostimulant on a product label. Okay, this is where the rubber really meets the road, especially if you're out there making these products or you're the one reviewing them. Let's talk about what this database is for, and just as importantly, what it's not for. The database has a super clear purpose. It's there to identify recognized biostimulants. It helps a regulator check a specific plant biostimulant claim on a label. It gives us that common language we've been talking about. And it acts as an official tool for classification, not for blanket approval. And this part is just as important to get right. This database is absolutely not a whitelist for registration. If a microbe isn't on the list, it does not mean it's unapproved or that it can't be registered. All it means is that it might not be able to make that very specific biostimulant claim yet. It can still be evaluated under that much broader beneficial substance umbrella. So if you're a regulator, how do you use this? Well, it's a pretty simple, logical process. First, just look at the label. Does it make a specific plant biostimulant claim? If it does, and only if it does, then you move to step 2 and check the database. If there's no claim, or if the microbe isn't listed, you just move to step 3 and evaluate the product based on its own scientific merits under that wider beneficial substance category. Simple as that. I mean, this point really can't be stressed enough. This thing is a guide, not a gatekeeper. A microbe should never, ever be rejected just because it's not in this one database. It simply means it's probably part of that larger beneficial substance group. All right, let's boil all this down. If you're going to remember just one thing from all of this, please make it this next point. The AAPFCO database is here to classify, not to permit or deny. It answers one simple question. Is this microbe recognized to make a biostimulant claim? It does not answer the question, is this microbe allowed to be on the market? And that difference is absolutely critical for encouraging innovation. So what does all this mean for the future? Well, by creating a clear, consistent, and logical framework, this whole new system can lead to much more predictable product development. It really sets the stage for a new wave of innovation in plant and soil health. So the real question is, what kinds of new solutions is it going to unlock?